Hello, you are listening to the OmniTalk Fast 5, brought to you in partnership with Microsoft, the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, Takeoff, and Sezzle. The OmniTalk Fast 5 podcast is the podcast that we hope makes you feel a little smarter, but most importantly, a little happier each week, too. Today is June 23rd. I am your host, Ann Mazinga.
And I'm Chris Walton.
And we are here once again to discuss all the top headlines making waves in the world of omnichannel retailing. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Ann. It's summer here in Minneapolis.
Oh, it is.
I am in a t-shirt, or a golf shirt, I should say. Actually, it's probably more appropriate, which I almost never wear.
Because you don't golf?
I don't golf. Nope, I don't golf. Don't love the look of them either. You know, it takes me out of my hoodie zone.
Oh, God.
But yeah, it's
Why'd you get so dressed up then?
Well, you know, it's the Fast 5, Ann, and you're summery. You got a summer dress on. I think that counts as a summer dress. And so I wanted to, you know, keep up with the Joneses, so to speak here, Ann.
It's linen. It's linen season.
And it's also balls hot, Ann. It was like 100 degrees here in Minneapolis on Monday with like insane humidity. It was like one of the hottest days of my life. Not the hottest, but definitely one of the hottest.
Yeah, we just keep going back and forth. Like I was just looking at a clip from one of the episodes. Maybe it feels like it was just a couple of weeks ago, where I was like in a
you were like a
jacket, like trying to stay warm in here.
Yeah,
and now it's 102.
It is, but it's hot. It's heating up. It's heating up at OmniTalk. I think we mentioned this last week, but we are solidly positioned on the Apple Retail Podcast rankings now. And thanks to all our loyal listeners that have been leaving us reviews each and every week. And I got to tell you, boy, and we have some good ones coming up. You know, I can't wait to read them. Oh, yeah, there's some fun ones. You got to go and check them out. I know I'm the one that's responsible for culling the reviews each week. But as you guys know, we read these in sequential order as they come in. But there's one that really cracked me up here that we're going to do probably in like 2 or 3 weeks. But this week's review, Ann, comes to us from, this is a great name, Brokey Up, with 6 P's, mind you. 6 P's at the end of that name.
Brookie Up?
I have no idea.
Brookie Up?
I don't know.
Giddy Up.
Yeah, I have no idea who this is. Again, we have no idea who leaves these reviews because these Apple podcast names are so weird. But here's the title. Was straightened out by new A&M employee. Ooh, I love the ooh. Sitting around the Kellogg School of Management dinner table, we were discussing our favorite podcasts, and I mentioned OmniTalk. Then I went on to discuss how I didn't know A&M was a big school for retail. Boy, was I wrong. My friend Dylan R., shout out to Dylan R., whoever you are, will be starting a new job at A&M Consulting, and he's straightening me out. How embarrassing. All good, though. Shout out to A&M, Chris and Ann, for making an amazing, informative podcast, and congrats to Dylan R. for starting his new retail consulting job. Yes, congrats to Dylan R., Ann.
Oh, maybe Dylan R. will be a guest on the podcast at some point.
Young whippersnapper's perspective. That would be great. Yeah, we'll have to talk to those guys about it. I love it.
Well, remember, please, if you are listening, to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Heart the podcast if you're on Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, etc. And please, please, please follow and subscribe so we can keep making the best retail content possible for you all. And we may just read it aloud one day for our listeners to hear, like, Brookie Up.
Yeah, we may not. We will. We will. 100% chance you leave us a review at some point. It will get read on this podcast. All right, Ann, should we do the news?
Let's do it. Let's
get
to it.
In today's Fast 5, we've got news on GNC taking their new food delivery service national, which I didn't even know about. Simon is in the news again with an innovative product search platform.
Dang, Simon. You fancy.
You fancy. The announcement of a second Amazon-style apparel store in Ohio. Walmart and Roku teaming up on shoppable TV, an idea that I think I likely love and Ann probably hates, but we'll find out here in a few minutes. But first, we take off with even bigger news out of Amazon. And Ann, I personally think this one's huge, but you have the honors.
Well, you haven't yet called it Headline of the Year, so we'll see if we can get there. Yes, Chris, that is right. According to Progressive Grocer, and you'll find out shortly why that outlet is reporting on this, it is prime time, once again, Chris, for Amazon. So starting July 12th, through 13th, Prime members will score deals on items from national brands and third-party sellers and save, as they always do, on goods at Amazon-owned stores. But
there's always a but.
There's a but. New this summer is a 20% discount for Prime members to use on select everyday items at Amazon Fresh stores.
Booyah!
Chris. Members can enjoy this benefit year-round by scanning their Amazon app at the register or purchasing with a credit card that's registered to their Prime account. Prime members who apply for and are approved for an Amazon Rewards Visa card will also earn an additional 6% back at Amazon and Whole Foods Market on Prime Day, and 5% you're back year-round, and an Amazon gift card for $200.
Whoa.
Chris, let's just put this another notch on your bedpost or whatever that expression is.
Whoa, hey, we're getting saucy again and racy. All right.
You predicted this a long time ago in was it a Forbes article? I can't remember.
I did, and
at some point in time, I know you this is a claim to fame.
And funny you should mention this. Yes, I'm going to take a massive victory lap here. Because, I did hypothesize this. Do you know how long ago it was?
No, I can't even remember. I just know this is going to come out in this episode.
For sure. I mean, I looked it up, and I think I might even have hypothesized it rough, just tangentially, on a social media post or something before this. But I wrote an article about this in July of 2019. July of 2003, years ago, and 3 years ago is how on top of this we were.
Can I pause? Are we going to get out of this recession that we're in? Do you have any other predictions you can make that will make me feel better about the state of the world right now?
Definitely not on that, and definitely not on that.
Right.
But we digress. But I mean, your point is dead right though. I mean, we predicted this. I love this. The savings are freaking huge.
Yeah.
My only question on this was, they use the term select items for the 20% discount.
Yeah.
So you know what, Omnitech fans, I had to go, and I use air quotes on select items because I love when retailers do that in their press releases. But I had to do some research on this. So I messaged my good buddy Jamil Gahani, who happens to be the VP.
Jamil.
Yeah, the VP of Amazon Prime at Amazon. And of course, he had to send me to his PR team because no one's allowed to actually talk to me about business,
Even our old Target friend, yeah.
But it actually sounds pretty widespread. There's some good, there's basically everyday staples are going to have rotating deals, 20% off throughout the year. But the part that I found really interesting is that they're going to offer daily specials on their prepared foods every single day of the week. So for example, Monday, 20% off the salad bar, Tuesday, sandwiches, Wednesday, soups, on, and Sunday, deli meats and cheeses, cheese pizza on Saturday. That is big. 20% savings on a prepared meal for your family.
Yeah, the salad bar. You know that we go into the salad bar. Yeah. That's a $20 salad to save 20% on that.
Right.
That's getting me there on a Monday.
Too many jokes. All right, we're not going to go there. But yeah, no. I mean, it's massive. I mean, that is and it's a massive pull into the store too.
Yeah.
Which is what Amazon Fresh needs. Totally. So even though there's still probably some, I don't know how many there are roughly now, but 30 to 40 in the country, this makes a ton of sense. And here's the other thing about referencing the article. It's also just an early precursor to what they can do more overtly over time. This is the first salvo. You get more of these stores. I've talked about them doing Prime Deal days, promotions on the 1st and the 15th of the month when people get paid. Something like that or something to that extreme could still be coming. They have the power because they have electronic shelf labels in their store. They can change their prices whenever they want. Other retailers still 7 to 14 days late on price change because they're physical signs. All right, I'm done. What do you think, though, Ann?
Yeah, I think especially with inflation, there was just a report I read this morning that, not surprisingly, customers are switching to different brands. They're changing their shopping behaviors significantly 100%. Because it's getting expensive. We're almost at 9% of inflation rate. Customers are going to be driving their purchase decisions based on where they can get quick cashback savings, what they can do, where they can find good quality groceries. And I think that it's a big part of, Whole Foods being a part of this, Amazon Fresh Stores being a part of this. And you have over 150 million Prime members. And I think that what I'm going to kind of be focused on here too is as customers start to tighten their belts and remove some of those subscriptions. I'm talking the Shipt, the Instacart, the DoorDash, all of these things. I think Prime is going to be one for multiple reasons. There's more and more to hang on to that membership and to drive people into an Amazon Fresh store.
100%. And the last point I'd make, which I hadn't thought about until you just said this, something triggered it in my mind. The user experience for this is different in Amazon Fresh than what we've seen in Whole Foods previously. In Whole Foods, you had to get to the check lane, remember to scan your barcode to get the savings. You have to remember, folks, Amazon Fresh stores, for the most part now, are predominantly just walk out. That's what they're doing. So they know you upon entry. So that means, in my mind, you pick those items that are for sale, should be automatically put in your cart. I'm guessing that's how it works. I can't see why it wouldn't work that way.
Right.
So that is a cool connection as well and a cool marketing hook for me as well. All right, Ann, let's go to headline number 2.
All right.
GNC is expanding a food delivery pilot they began testing last year called Real Eats. Yummy. According to Chain Store Age, the vitamins and supplement retailer started the pilot 1 year ago in 3 markets: Pittsburgh, which always seems to be in these test markets, DC, and of course Florida, the ubiquitous test market for sure.
Yes.
And is now delivering its meal options across the United States, or plans to deliver them across the entire United States. GNC's Real Eats features exclusive healthy meal bundles through partnerships with the eponymously named Real Eats. So proud I finally got to use the word eponymously. I probably didn't say that right anyway in the sentence.
What does that mean?
It means basically of the same name, like derived by the same name. But
So
anyway,
it's a wasted
GNC's
word.
Real Eats is by Real Eats. Yeah, it's just that it's to reference that fact that that's
Okay.
happening. Anyway, super
You
nerdy.
get your quarter for using that
Yeah,
word.
super nerdy, and I'm just glad I finally got to use it and probably said it wrong. The service offers more than 60 different assortments as well as options for consumers with dietary preferences such as meat-free or lower-calorie options. And the
Yes.
fitness aficionado that you are, you going to be going to GNC and gobbling some of these meal kits up?
I don't know that I will be specifically, but you mentioned like as a gym owner and having worked with multiple providers multiple times, I can tell you that this efficiency of having specific meals, the people that are going to GNC, that are going to these gyms, like they have very specific dietary needs. And the best way to do that, the most convenient way to do that for many people is subscribing to some sort of meal delivery service, because trying to like buy all the ingredients, make it at home, like it involves a full day of meal prep with which many people don't have. So I think this is a really smart pivot for GNC. I think that the GNC customer is benefiting because, like I said, they're saving a trip. They're having this extra convenience because, most importantly, you can do this food delivery order alongside other GNC things. So when you're doing subscribe and save or whatever it might be that you have with GNC, you just add the food into your basket and you get it the next week. You're earning loyalty points across both platforms on very high ticket items. So I think that makes sense. But the thing that I'll watch out for, which we watch out for in any of these meal delivery services, is looking at flexibility in scheduling, because this is order on Wednesday, get the next like Tuesday or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And then also what other variety of options you have. Like, can I pick this up in store? How do you allow for flexibility in scheduling? And then also taste. And, they have 60 items right now. I think that's going to have to flex too, because that gets to be tired after a while.
Yeah, it really does. That is a problem with the meal kits in general. The point that I hadn't thought about too is like the routine nature of the GNC shopper. Like they're a very routinized crew.
Very.
Like they live their lives by the hour, by the minute, very much focused on what's going into their body particularly. But I mean, not for me, and I like it a lot too. It was one of those like, never thought about this before, but it makes sense for GNC, right? Like it hits you over the face like that,
Right.
But the question for me, as well, that I would add, the little wrinkle I'd add to it, the kind of and one is, especially with all the news around Blue Apron and Walmart recently, is why hasn't a meal kit company gone out and set it a white label meal solutions like this for multiple grocers, right? Like, maybe one has, we just haven't heard about it, but I kind of doubt it. But it seems like a smart way to get economies of scale without trying to die on your sword as a brand in what is likely, as we've seen, a very tough business to stand alone within.
Right.
Like, why hasn't that happened? I don't understand. It seems like a smart move. It seems like whoever this, what is it, Real Kits?
Real Eats.
Real Eats, excuse me. Sorry for that mistake. Seems like it's just seems like a natural no-brainer.
Well, I think that the thing that people are trying to do, or we've seen grocers, like what Kroger was trying to do, is trying to bring in like the local angle to this, which is, as we've found out, is very hard to scale, which is, why I think GNC is going with a company like this, that it's not like day of meals. It's all sous vide. You put the sous vide. Each item is in its own packet, and you boil it. You sous vide it.
You're a big fan
you
of
don't microwave it unless you absolutely have
to. You're a big
to.
fan of the sous vide. Yeah, you're right. And then we've also seen the ghost kitchen angle, which we almost talked about this week. Walmart opening up their ghost kitchen down in Plano, Texas, which is another kind of variation on this theme. But it's getting hot in here. Do we turn on the air conditioner? I feel like Nelly. It's getting hot in here.
What?
If it's hot, I'm hot. But let's keep on rolling, because these headlines are going to get hotter as we go along.
That was a lot of work for a transition. I hope everybody appreciates that. All right, according to headline number 3, according to a Simon press release, the mall owner is back in the news because they are releasing a new capability they're calling what else but Simon Search.
Love that name. Love it.
Oh, it's trademarked, so you can't do anything with that. I loved that the trademark had to be put behind that.
Sorry, wait. Before you read the details, do you remember the game as a kid? Simon Says, the little circular
obviously
game.
That's why they trademarked
I know. Did you remember that? The game? Did you ever play it?
Oh yeah. They still have it.
Were you good at it?
I could get through a few rounds, but I kind of got bored with it after a while.
I honestly don't think I've ever played it. I totally remember it, but I don't think
Really?
I've ever played it. No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, my kids have one. I got rid of it, though, because it made too
Nice,
much noise.
nice.
You know how I feel about noisy toys. All right, so, Chris, Simon Search gives shoppers the ability to research in-stock products available at participating retailers located within a Simon property. It's available to shoppers through the Simon app, property websites, and the interactive directories that are located at all Simon properties nationwide. The participating retailers that are involved in this so far include Aeropostale, Anthropologie, Athleta, Banana Republic, Gap, J.Crew, JCPenney, and Old Navy. The initial version of the platform, Chris, is being tested at 29 Simon retail centers across the U.S., with the generic broader rollout planned for later this year. But, Chris.
Yes, Ann. I'm still trying to get over the I hate noisy toys comment, but yes, please.
Why?
It just
Who
cracks me
likes
up for
noisy toys?
Nobody, I guess. Yeah, right.
Oh, God. No. You put the tape over the sound speaker thing. You got to do whatever.
Like fire truck that keeps going, where?
I know.
Yeah,
and
right.
at like 2 o'clock in the morning when you're sleeping, you're like, oh, my God, there's a demon in the house.
That's right. That does happen, yeah.
Okay. So, Chris, most importantly, this is the question that A&M has chosen to use to put you on the spot.
Ooh, okay.
So, Chris, in answering the question about Simon Search,
Yes.
A&M wants to know, they say, we admire Simon's ability and willingness to promise real-time in-store inventory. Based on the customer's typical shopping journey, is this search capability as relevant for mall apparel as for a category like, say, grocery? And when do you think we'll see that?
That's a really good question. Yeah, 100% it's relevant. I mean, I think search is a necessary condition for any consistent e-commerce experience, whether you're apparel, whether you're grocery. I mean, I would say through the years, given the proliferation that we've seen in terms of where e-commerce has happened first, I could even make the argument that it's probably even more useful in a place like apparel rather than grocery. I don't know that for a fact, but I think one could make an argument on that. Mm-hmm. The question for me on this, though, is what will consumers do? Right? Like it's a requirement for the experience, but can you get consumers to go to a mall's website to do this versus the individual brands themselves? That's the chasm that has to be crossed here. Mm-hmm. I think, as we've talked about, we think it's a smart move for malls to do because it gives them a position in the minds of their consumers. And if you can add to this not just search capabilities, but buy capabilities in the long run, like we've shown with the Mall of America and talked about ad nauseum with the Depmine too on this show, that makes your life a lot easier as a consumer because you can shop multiple retailers, coordinate your pickup and delivery across those retailers for your given location in a mall. It's hard to understand exactly what this is from the press releases. I tried to do a little bit more digging. It sounds like it's definitely giving multiple retailers visibility on a website is essentially the intention. Whether you can, how the degree to which you can purchase and see the inventory is still a question to me. The big question too is what is those are a lot of big retailers named.
Yes.
How thorough are those integrations? Like, are there order management connections?
Right.
POS connections? Like, how deep is this? Time will tell as this continues to roll out, but it's one of those things actually I want to get out and try for our listeners if we can to see, exactly how this is working at some point.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is only going to be as good and beneficial to the consumers as the number of retailers they have and ultimately the quality of the data. Like, is it real-time inventory? To answer A&M's question, I would say yes. If you have a bricks and mortar business, anytime you can give inventory visibility to a consumer, it's a good thing. It doesn't matter what the industry is.
It's essential.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go to your mall or to your store, I want to know that the thing I'm going to get, because otherwise I'll just order it online. Like, I need to know that the thing I'm going to get that day is there, and that's going to drive, like we've talked about multiple times, that's top of the funnel decision making. That drives where I go and who I shop with.
Which, and also brings up another point too. This is not just about search too, because the other important function is browse.
Right.
People like to browse online the different options they have available too. And that is actually more important in apparel, relatively speaking, than it is in grocery. In grocery, you kind of know what you want. You go in, you hunt and peck it,
right.
Especially for those things that are the repeat items, which is why grocery has been kind of a difficult thing to get off the ground. But the browse nature of this is still also important, and they're going after that too with this, even though it's classified and called branded Simon Search. Important distinction, though.
Yeah, but I think that's also important, Chris, too, when you're thinking about who you're getting on the platform, the retailers that you're getting on the platform. Like we showed in the Mall of America Depmine video, like being able to search snow pants and being able to get 15 different retailers showing those results. that simulates the mall experience. That saves me time. That's more convenient. So I think that's the really important thing to be thinking about here. And yes, it's just early stages, but hopefully Simon will be able to get this on. And I think that the most important point too is that they'll be able to start offering this in lease terms. Like not only anymore when you're signing a deal with a mall, are you just going to get the 4 walls and some TI money to like in marketing, shared marketing expenses, but like being able to offer this as a service to your tenants is going to be huge for the future of the draw of big name retailers to malls.
It's a great point. And I'm so glad we picked this story actually, because we were debating whether or not to put it in. I'm glad A&M made it the put you on the spot question this week. But you're right. It's about critical mass of retailers. That's what's going to make it successful. And this is the first time we've seen really big retailers, at least from what's stated, sign up to be a part of a program like this, because that's what you need. You don't need the local mom and pop shops. Nobody's going to waste time to go to that interface for that. They want to see the Lululemons, the JCPenney's, the Gaps, and all that stuff, and to make their lives easier. All right, on that front, let's talk about making our apparel shopping even easier. And God, I'm like master of the segue today. Just weeks after the first Amazon-style store opened in California, Amazon announced a second Amazon-style location that will open in the Easton Town Center in Columbus, Ohio this coming fall. According to the noted Columbus Dispatch, shout out to the Columbus Dispatch.
Heck yeah.
Woo! The store will take over a vacant 26,000 square foot Forever 21 space in the mall, which, Ann, if you stop and think about it, is an ironic statement in and of itself.
What?
Taking over a space from Forever 21?
Is this not forever?
Exactly. All right, it will feature men's and women's clothing.
Thank God I'm here to translate.
Along with new and long-standing brands such as Calvin Klein, Lacoste, and Levi, and some Amazon brands that will be in the store for the first time, said Amazon. And do you think this is significant, or are you poo-pooing this? No doubtly, like countless others throughout the country probably are.
Okay, no. This is a tinfoil hat warning.
Uh-oh, look out.
It's been a long time.
Tinfoil hat
It's been a long time, listeners, but I'm getting my hat out because I think that Amazon style is going to be like gremlins. You just start getting them wet and then you start multiplying all over the place. Okay, Chris, I know you made the joke about Forever 21 and how ironic it is, but how many of those are in malls across the country? Like vacant anchors,
vacant spots in general.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Or better yet, Kohl's. How many vacant Kohl's will there be in the next several months?
After they're acquired, probably a lot more based on how they're going to run that place. But
and once Amazon gets into like one large anchor space in the mall, Chris, what's to stop them from just taking a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more until they own the entire mall? And so I think this is a
Jesus.
huge...
Okay, I didn't expect you to go in that direction.
Yes,
wow.
I think that this is like, we know
world domination.
We know that Amazon style, this is just a test market for other things too. Like you've got the front facing, like great, this is a new apparel shopping. I think we said it before, but we'll see what that experience actually is like if people like to shop it, whatever. But the number one thing here is that Amazon instantly gets prime warehouse space that's close to tons of rooftops and a storefront in one building that they can do whatever the hell they want with. Yeah. They can go beyond style. They can start doing grocery. They can do whatever they want, and that's what I think is at play here. So
wow, okay, tinfoil hat. It's funny, I never thought about you went the extreme on this one, my friend, but like I never thought about it. Like if Wayfair's doing a home furnishing store, why the hell can't Amazon do it? And honestly, Amazon could probably do it better than Wayfair, I think.
Or the returns,
personally.
Or just a returns store, like all the things that we've talked about for the last however many years.
Depot.
Yeah,
right. I mean, they could do this with any category. They've thrown around ideas in beauty over in London and stuff. But it's not outside the realm of possibility. So,
a hair salon.
Yeah, right, the hair salon. But I don't think you're tinfoil hatty at all, because I think this is a really, really important announcement. There's now going to be 2 of these.
Yes.
And the other thing I like about it, I love the audacity of this. Because one can make the argument that Columbus is actually the retail capital of America.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
This is a slap in the face. This is like L Brands. Woo, woo, woo.
Right. So here's Amazon.
We're in charge now.
Right. Here's Amazon saying after one store in LA, we're going to now open our second store right in your backyard, which the other thing I love about this, it's 2,000 miles away.
Yeah.
No, most retailers are like, let's pilot this in a market, and let's see how we can saturate a market
New
and
York,
see how this works.
LA,
but Amazon does this a smart way. They pilot it in 2 completely disparate locations. One is probably going to be really hard to make it work because you're right in someone's backyard. But if it works, then you know you've got something.
Yes.
And that is what I applaud about this. And God, I can't wait to see it. And so glad it's in Columbus because that is a much quicker flight than LA.
True. Yes. You got it all out?
I did, and well, I did. I thought mine was paltry in comparison to your rant there.
Yeah.
Or not. You didn't really rant. You kind of hypothesized about the future, right? You showed it. You
with Nostradamus
with
the tinfoil.
Yeah, with the tinfoil hat on. All right, let's finish the
show. Okay,
show.
let's wrap it up. So headline number 5, according to Chain Store Age, Walmart has entered into an exclusive partnership with Roku. The collaboration will enable customers to buy items with just one click on their Roku remote while streaming television programs. To purchase a Walmart product via Roku, viewers just press OK on the remote when they see a shoppable ad and proceed to check out with their payment details easily pre-populated from Roku Pay, Roku's payments platform. From there, tapping OK on the Walmart checkout page quickly places the order, and a Walmart purchase confirmation is then emailed with shipping, return, and support information. Chris, I know you are just like gonna slobber all over this. You love it.
How do you know that? I'm so okay. Yeah, you're right.
You teased it at the beginning.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're right. I'm gonna like it, and it's not going.
And I told you we can't talk about it yesterday because I knew you were gonna poo-poo it. But no, I love it, Ann. I love it. And
why?
I'll give you a little backstory here. Backstory to who I am too. So when I was interviewing with Jason Goldberger to become the head of home furnishings for Target.com,
yes,
this was in 2013. I remember I said this to him. I'm roughly paraphrasing, but it was pretty close to this. I said, what excites me about this job is thinking about how the physical substrates of e-commerce will continue to evolve, even say on one's TV. Super dorky, right? I bring that. It sounds super dorky to say substrate to interview because it is.
Not for you. I mean, what was the word you tried to use earlier?
It is, yeah. but there's a there with this idea, and ultimately it's been hard to crack the code on it because you're talking about a user interface that has to work across multiple hardware devices.
Yes,
and that's the tricky part. And then you have to have the software inside of that to make it happen. But this is the best UI that I've heard of yet to make this happen. You see a shoppable ad alongside potentially something you're watching on television. You immediately click the button. Walmart has a huge assortment that allows you to sell a lot of goods this way, and it's connected to one retailer, so you don't have to worry about it. Your payment details are already in the system. Boom, you're done if you want it. That seems pretty efficient to me. It's all low-hanging fruit in terms of incremental volume that is just there to be had for whoever wants to do it. The cost to experiment with it is really low, and it's probably really up to Roku and the Walmart development team to just make the user interface through the system that much better over time. So I like it. I think it's a smart move. It's a hell of a lot better than drones, for example.
Yes, for sure.
I think it immediately pays some dividends, whether they be small in the beginning or larger in the long run. I don't know, but it's a cool precursor to me.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
It's showing mass.
Rain on my parade.
You've got mass. You've got Walmart. You've got Roku. But, okay, Amazon's already been doing this. They have a much better interface with it. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I don't know because I haven't used the Walmart one. But when you say shoppable ads popping up on the screen, I have negative connotations.
That's a question for me of how that works.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like if they're coming up.
I want to shoot this too,
Yeah,
actually.
if they're coming up on the screen in the middle of a show, I don't like it. Prime is letting you pause a show, see things in the Prime viewer, just like you can see it with like who's the actor, what's the what else have they been in. Like that view to me is much simpler. You have a larger category set of items because it's Amazon, and I think you have many more people that have already set up Amazon accounts, Prime accounts, who are instantly connected. That's all on one platform, one retailer, one entertainment option. So I think that, and then YouTube's been doing this too. And I think when you start to think about how YouTube can do this, and that I guess the question for me is, will the Walmart Roku checkout be as simple as it is for me to just go on my mobile device that I'm already holding while I'm watching a show to find that item? Will I have more success with that? Right now, I think YouTube and Amazon beat that out.
I don't know. I think I kind of like it because, and I think what I like about it is the ubiquity of we're just doing this with one retailer that has a lot of products. So then you just know real quick, boom, that's where it's coming from. You don't even care as a consumer. That's where it's coming from. I'm getting it versus like having to go in your mobile phone, go into another website, multiple retailers' website to make it happen. That's a different flow. So I think they're onto something here, which I think makes this really unique. Do you have a Roku at home?
Yeah,
you
do.
All right, sweet. We're going to have to try this out and give you guys a demo as well. All right, Ann, it's still really hot in here. let's close this up.
God, somebody is like you're having some hot flashes here, Chris.
I'm having male menopause at 45.
Oh my God. All right, Chris, Amazon took over the opulent Paradero Resort in Mexico and rebranded it as Amazon Resort to host and recruit influencers and members of Amazon's influencer program. For some reason, we didn't get an invite. I don't know why.
I know, yeah.
Okay, but Chris.
I think it's in the mail, actually.
It's in the mail. You're already hot in the recording studio, so they don't want you to go to Mexico and overheat. Okay, let's get onto it. Chris, what is your go-to drink order at an all-inclusive resort, and how many drinks are required before getting your frosted tips to the foam party at Senior Frogs?
Oh, 0. Like, you can get me to the party at Senior Frogs with basically no alcohol, probably. But my go-to resort drink, and this one is for Chad at A&M, is the Pina Colada. It's cool, it's sweet, and it's very refreshing. All right, Ann. Residents of rural Lockford, California, who apparently just found out that Amazon will soon begin testing a 6-foot by 4-foot Amazon drone that will fly over its ranches, are threatening to use the drones as "quote unquote" target practice. And what's your over/under on how many get shot down within the first 2 weeks of testing?
Under. I think they're okay.
But how many? How many do they get shot down? Honestly, how many?
Oh. How many get shot
over
down?
And under. Like,
I thought you were saying in how many weeks. Okay, I would say I'm talking like so many that Amazon has to like shut down the program.
Really? You think so? I'm setting the over/under at 1. No, at 2. It'll be at least 1. And the question will be, is it more than 1?
It is more than 1.
You think so? I think there's going to be some jackwagon that shoots it, and then it's going to get sued like crazy by Amazon.
Oh my God,
the lawyers are going to come out, but who knows? But
yeah.
And rightfully so, because you're destroying public property, which we do not condone on this show.
No, definitely
Although we
not.
would love to talk about it.
Although it's a 6'4", it's like a dining room table that's like floating in the air. It's like the mass. You could shoot. I could shoot that down probably if I had to.
It's crazy. All right, Ann.
Okay. Chris, Kellogg's announced this week that they plan to separate into 3 companies to give more room for the growth of their snacks category and better support a struggling cereal category. Chris, which struggling Kellogg's cereal should get the most support to stay on shelves?
Frosted Flakes, Ann.
Flakes?
Frosted Flakes. Frosted Flakes.
Frosted
My
Flakes.
alliteration got the best of me. The
Frosted
F and the
Flakes.
R and the F and the R.
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes, Ann, because they're great.
Great. You're supposed to do great.
Yeah,
like Tony the Tiger.
All right,
okay.
I set that
All
up.
right.
All right. And after 85 years, Kraft Macaroni and Cheese is getting a makeover that includes a new name, an updated logo, and a noodle smile. The Kraft Heinz company said the product will now even be called Kraft Mac and Cheese as opposed to Kraft Macaroni and Cheese.
Oh.
And my question for you is this to close the show. When was the last time you personally feedbagged an entire box of Kraft Mac and Cheese?
I mean, that's pretty easy to do, which is embarrassing. I feel like that is like air going into your body. It like doesn't even feel
I can't feedbag a whole box anymore.
I
usually get
it's been a while
like
since
2
I tried.
scoops left in the pan.
It's
but when
been
was
a
the
while.
last time?
Oh man. I don't know. Probably in college.
Oh, it's that long ago?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I thought it'd be like, oh, you're tired with the kids. You whip up some mac and cheese. You say, oh, you know what? That sounds good. I'll make another box for myself.
No.
They're like 49 cents.
No, they had to remove the orange coloring because it was like bad, so now it doesn't taste as good,
Tasty,
I don't think.
So tasty. All right. That wraps us up. Thank God, this show. This was a blast. I had a fun time today. Happy birthday today to Zinedine Zidane. Hopefully I said that right. I think I did. Jason Mraz, and the man who almost made Cocktail worth watching, Brian Brown. And remember, if you can only read or listen to one retail blog in the business, make it OmniTalk. Our Fast 5 podcast is the quickest, fastest rundown of all the week's top news. And our twice weekly newsletter tells you the top 5 things you need to know each day and also features special content exclusive to us and just for you. And we try really hard to make it all fit within the preview pane of your inbox. Yes, we do. I spend countless hours every Thursday making that happen. Sign up today at www.omnitalk.blog. Thanks as always for listening in. Please remember to like and leave us a review wherever you happen to listen to your podcast or on YouTube. And of course, as always, be careful out there.
The OmniTalk Retail Fast 5 is a Microsoft-sponsored podcast. Microsoft Cloud for Retail connects your customers, your people, and your data across the shopper journey, delivering personalized experiences and operational excellence. And is also brought to you in association with the A&M Consumer and Retail Group. The A&M Consumer and Retail Group is a management consulting firm that tackles the most complex challenges and advances its clients, people, and communities toward their maximum potential. CRG brings the experience, tools, and operator-like pragmatism to help retailers and consumer products companies be on the right side of disruption. And Takeoff. Takeoff is transforming grocery by empowering grocers to thrive online. The key is micro-fulfillment, small robotic fulfillment centers that can be leveraged at a hyper-local scale. Takeoff also offers a robust software suite so grocers can seamlessly integrate the robotic solution into their existing businesses. To learn more, visit takeoff.com. And Sezzle. Sezzle is an innovative buy now, pay later solution that allows shoppers to split purchases into 4 interest-free payments over 6 weeks. To learn more, visit Sezzle.com.